Hi, today we're going to be having a look at this UniFi wireless access point. And a viewer called Steve sent me this, and I'll just read out what Steve said. Evening, I love your channel and the work that you do. I also have a keen interest in repair and restoration to keep things out of the landfill. Recently, I had to replace a UniFi AC Lite access point as it was no longer powering up. I contacted Ubiquiti for a warranty replacement, but they said no, as it had expired. Would you be interested in taking a look for your channel to see if you can figure out the failed component and prevent it powering up? I'd give it a go, but my failed eyesight does not agree with these tiny components, and I fear I'd do more harm than good. I've attached images of the access point, and there's no marks on the board or anything obvious to my eye that has popped. My boss said to fire it in the bin, but if it can be brought back to life, I'd hope it could be used to cover a dead spot at home. If you'd like to make a video of it, I'd happily pay shipping costs or parts. Many thanks, keep up the awesome work and the variety of items you cover. Another Stephen, not the garage door opener one. Now, Stephen's already taken the top off this, so I don't have to bother unclipping that. I think he said he broke one of the clips. So let's just zoom down a bit and see if we can see anything interesting. Well, there's not a great deal in this. I don't know if there's anything on the back of the board. Let's take these 3 screws out and we'll pull the board out, and then we'll make it under the microscope. There we go. Let's put this case into one side. And I'm not sure if it's got any components on the back. Oh, yes, it has. So I wonder if Stephen had a look at the back of the unit as well. Right, I'll go and set the microscope up and then we'll have a look over this board. One moment, please. Right, let's have a look over this board then. So the power comes in on the Ethernet connector here because it uses power over Ethernet. So we've got a couple of bridge rectifiers there. A diode. Some kind of MOSFET there, switching MOSFET perhaps. We've got a big inductor there. Another couple of diodes. And a bank of capacitors. That's up to the antennas there. Looks like we've got a custom IC with a 14 megahertz crystal, I think that is. Another little power supply there, possibly a little inductor there. And that's the network, that's the Ethernet transformer there. Another little inductor. And what's that? Let's get something to point with there. That's a network IC, but I've just noticed just in the middle of it there, just don't know if that was just a bit flux or something, or whether that was a bit of an explosion mark. Yeah, so this chip may have failed. We'll have to come and have a look at that. There's definitely a little bit of a mark in the middle of that O, or 0. So we've got a couple of little LEDs there. A few 0 ohm resistors. Now I'm not sure what that IC is, but it looks like it's some kind of RF radio IC, because it's got lots of RF looking parts coming off it here, filters and things. I think that looks like a flash chip. Let's see if I can get that in focus a bit better. Let's try shining a light on it. Yeah, I think that's a flash chip. And then next to that, that looks like a serial debug port. So if we get this powered up, we might have a bit of poke with that later, see if we get any interesting info out of it. And I think there's one on the opposite side of the board as well. Looks like there's a one here as well, which is a bit unusual. We've got a little bit of a can over some components in here, so I'm not sure what's in there. That looks soldered. I don't know whether this will lift up or not. I'll just see if I can get this can up. Might be a bit easier said than done. Let's try a different screwdriver, see if I can get into it. There we go. And that looks like another flash chip. Well, the only thing I've noticed so far was that mark on that network chip, which was this one here. So let's have a look at the other side. Let's see if we can see anything obvious on this side. Well, we've got a little switch mode power supply there, and a couple of 0 ohm resistors which are acting as fuses. I'm not sure what that IC is. Looks like an LM. Looks like an LM5072, I think. Another 0 ohm resistor. Well, I can't see any component damage on the back here. So I think the next thing is what we'll do, we'll power it up and we'll see what it's doing. We'll see if we can measure some voltages. Right, back with a power over Ethernet adapter. So this will supply power to the unit here. So we'll just plug this in and we'll see what it does. Right, well, the power supply looks like it's starting up and then shutting down with overcurrent. So I think there's a short on here. Let's just see if we get any voltage coming in here. We'll go on one of these bridge rectifiers here. Yeah, so it looks like we are getting voltage in and then it's shutting off. So I think I'll give my Kawit's new thermal camera a spin. This is the Kawit's KTI W02 and it's got a thermal sensor of 256 by 192 pixels. I'll just switch it on. And it's actually got two cameras in it. There's actually a thermal camera and a visual light camera as well. It's like a normal standard camera, and it can overlay both pictures together so you get a better resolution. But I've just got it in thermal mode at the moment. Let's have a look, see if we can see what's going on here. I'll just zoom down a bit. And we've got something getting hot there. Right, let's see if we can see what there is. It is that component there. Yeah, so it's got a variety of modes. This you can have it in infrared, you can have it mixed infrared, that's the visual and the infrared, You can have it visual light only or visible light only. Now the only downside with this is it doesn't actually record video. You can record stills like that, but it doesn't actually record video. So I mean, apart from that, it's not a bad little camera. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the video description. Right, let's get this under the microscope and we'll see what that component is. Right, I've got the meter in diode test, and it was this component here. So let's see. 0.16. Try it the other way. I mean, it's not dead short. I think we'll have to take that out and measure it. I think I'll have to use some low melt solder on that. Right, let's put a bit of flux on it first. There we go. Right, let's get the tweezers. It's just a bit awkward to get in because there's not a lot of room to get that iron in. Right, there we go. I'll add a little bit of flux and we'll clean this area up. Right, let's see if we can work out what this component is then. Oh, it's a bit hard to make out. Looks like an ST. And I think that says EU. I'm not sure if that's an F or an R. It might be an F actually, because I think I might have scratched it a little bit. I'll just try shining a light on it, see if we can get that any clearer. Yeah, it's an F. So it looks like EUF. There we go, we can see a little bit better there now. Yep, EUF. Right, I'll have a look on the surface mount database to see what that is. But let's just test it with the meter first, just in case it actually measures okay out of circuit. And that would be a no. Right, I'll see if I can find out what those are, and we'll see if we can order one. Right, it's been a couple of days and the new part has arrived. So the part is actually an SMA J58A, and it's a TVS diode, which is a transient voltage suppressor. And what that does is, if the voltage spikes above a certain threshold, and in this case 58 volts, it actually clamps it down to protect the electronics further down the line. So a little bit like a Zener diode. And the way I found out which diode it was, there's a good site if you haven't came across it before. I'll pull it up on the screen. It's called smduneed.one. And it gives you, it's a big database of all different codes that you'll find on things like these diodes, and it tells you what the exact part is, so it's very useful. Right, let's get these out of the packet. Let's find something to open the package with. Let's get one out. Right, so let's compare that to the original one. Let's move this along a bit. Maybe better put them upside down, maybe easier to get the probes on. So the bottom one is the faulty one. And this is the new one. Right, let's get that fitted and let's see if there's any other problems on this. I'll just bring the microscope in again. Right, I'm just going to add a little bit of flux first. And I think I'll just tin one side. Right, we'll get this diode in place. And the line goes to this little dot just here. Right, let's solder the other side up. I'll just spin it around a little bit so I've got a bit better angle to get in with. Right, I think that'll do. May take a little bit of that solder off actually, just to make it look a little bit neater. If I can get in with the iron again, there it is. There we go. Just a bit cosmetic this, it's not really affecting anything. Right, let's give that a little bit of a clean up. Right, I'll get the microscope out of the way and we'll plug it back in again then. Right, let's get this power pack plugged in. Let's see what happens now. See if the light starts flashing again. Oh. We have a white light. I just wonder if that network chip's getting hot. Let's just have another look with the thermal camera. Oh, I see he's getting a little bit warm, but nothing excessive. That's the bridge rectifier there, that's getting warm. But again, it's only about 30 degrees or so. Right, let's just switch that off. Oh, got a blue light on now. I don't know what that means. Right, I'll just go and grab my phone and I'll see if we can pick up anything on this, see if it's doing anything. Right, well, my phone isn't picking anything up. So I wonder if we should do a factory reset on it. Let's see if that does anything, because it's got a little button down here. So we'll try doing a factory reset on it and see if that does anything. I guess you've just got to hold this down for so long, perhaps. Well, it did something. Well, it's been on a while and I still can't pick anything up. So I'm going to see if I can find a manual for it online just to see how these are configured. Right, I found out how you set this up. I did have a little poke with the scope on these pins here, but I didn't see any activity on any of them. I thought it might, as it's booting up, it might have thrown out some interesting debug messages or something, but there wasn't anything coming out of those. So, right, so I had to download the Unify app, and it seems to have discovered the device here. So it says tap to set up, and I don't want to create an account, or I haven't got one of these gateway things or whatever, so let's just set it up without and continue anyway. No console found. Yeah, proceed. Proceed anyway. Name your access point. Right, already typed the name in, so we'll call it buy it, fix it, that'll do. Name. Password. Right, I'll just make up a password. Right, add an access point. Setting up about 2 minutes 20 left. Really? Oh, the lights just turned blue. Well, it's like watching paint dry. And you've got loads of muck underneath this screen protector here. I ended up cracking the screen on it at one point, and I just put a screen protector over it, but it's not a very good one. All this is set up an access point. Right, let's enter the password. Right, that's better. Connected. Right, let's see if we can get the internet on. Yeah, that seems to work. Excellent. Right, so that seems to be fixed now then, so we'll put it back in the case, and then I think we'll return it to him. So I wonder if there's been some kind of lightning strike or something that's caused this to go. Something obviously over voltaged on the cable and caused that diode to blow. That's what I think anyway. Right, let's just plug it in and give it a final test. See if it lights up. There we won't see the light now. Right, I can see a faint blue glow around there now. You might just be able to see it there. And there we go. Connected. Excellent. Right, we'll call this one a fixing. Watch your eyes, I'll just put the light back on. Right then, if you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, please leave it in the comment section below. And as always, have a great day. Thanks for watching.